Forum Credit Union and always gives us some expert advice. And the best part, it's free.
Oh, yeah.
Andy, good to see you as
Hi,
always.
Andy.
See both of you.
Yeah.
Don't you love seeing a segment like that where kids are making money and saving
Yes.
in those lessons?
Yes,
Yeah.
great.
So important.
Isn't
And we're going
it?
to talk
Yeah.
a little bit about
I
how
love
kids'
that.
responsibility for their own education.
Well, let's
So-
talk.
Try to get
Let's
on
talk
this show.
that young age first. So if your
Yeah.
kids are in,
Look at Scooter over there.
if kids are in elementary school or younger, what should be the focus of planning?
You know, so you start with how much are you going to pay for as a parent? Are you going to pay for everything? Are you just going to pay for part of it? Are you going to pay for only an in-state school? So you got to think about all of that. Then you can know how much you need to save, and then you need to start thinking about where's the best place to save that, because not all kids are going to go to college, so you want to make sure you can use it for technical schools or trade schools or things like that. So when they're younger, this is a good time to think about all of those things.
That's great.
Yeah, so we're talking about also like how most people are paying too. You have to formulate that plan.
Yes, yes. And I think it's really important for people to understand that most people don't have every single dime saved in a 529 plan.
Right,
Because
right.
they're like, oh, I'm terrible, I didn't save it all. Most people use a combination of a lot of things. So 529 plans, scholarships, really important. And if you have
Yeah.
younger kids, focus on academics, because merit-based scholarships can be so important to helping them get to the schools that they want to. And then there are student and parent loans, and then there's just other ways. Some people pay for it out of their monthly income. You know,
Sure.
you don't make as much when the kids are younger, but when they get older, you're making more, so you have more to do it. So just remember, there's a combination of ways to pay for that, and
Yeah.
you want to include your kids in that.
Sure. Let's talk about the 529s because
Yes.
we have one for Olivia and for Gus. And every month when we get the new report, it's kind of like, hey, look, we're
Yeah.
saving for your whatever you want to do after school, we're saving for it.
Yeah, and this is one of the great plans because there is flexibility. It's not just for college; it can be for technical school. Earnings grow tax-free, which is important, so
Yeah.
that's great. And then the Indiana 529 plan, you can get some tax benefits from it. And, you know, there's a big promotion coming up because
Yeah.
it will be 529 here in a few days. So,
Oh, yeah.
right. So,
Clever.
you know,
That's right.
it's
That's
kind of
really
why
clever.
there's a lot of things that goes on, and
Yeah.
you'll hear a lot about it. And so parents should know it is easy to do.
Yeah.
It's very flexible. You can start with a little amount and just increase it whenever you want. And like you say, you can just really see it grow.
Yeah, super easy to sign up as well.
Yes.
And once you automate things, you know, even if it's a little amount every month,
Yes.
those really do accumulate over time,
Yes.
and those tax benefits are great.
Right.
Yes.
Well, what Ryan is doing is probably a good lesson. The fact that you're showing Gus and Olivia, like,
Yeah.
hey, take a look. This
Yeah.
is for your future. That's part of the education process.
Yes, exactly. So important because you want your kids to be involved in it. And you should also talk to them about how much you're willing to pay for because
Yeah.
another important piece is the choice of college. You
Yeah,
know?
sure.
And that, because different colleges cost different things or different trade schools or whatever. You know, you can do a culinary school here or you can go to New York.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of different costs there.
Yeah.
And there may be a little difference, but maybe there's not. So it's important to think about all of those things when you're planning for how you're going to pay for college
Yeah.
and get your kids involved in that. Because if they have a stake in it, they're going to, you know, it's going to turn out a lot better.
Sure. Any other advice for parents that you would give, Andy, as they navigate this financial education for their kids?
I think the big thing is just to not get concerned that you don't have everything saved, right?
yeah.
And
Sure.
just know that you can make plans. Some people have kids going to college, you know, or other trade schools here in just a little bit, and they're not really sure how they're going to pay for it. You can figure it out,
Yeah.
you know. So don't get concerned about that. And then the other piece is, and I said this before, really focus on academics.
Yeah.
You know, that's
Sure.
so important.
Yeah, and maybe you need a trusted guide, and you can go to forumcu.com, stop into
Yes.
any of their branches to connect with Andy's team. They're great, and in the community you can find them almost anywhere. So, Andy, thanks so much
Andy,
for
you're
being
the
here.
best.
Thank
we always
you.
learn things from you.
Yeah,
Thank
really
you.
Like,
Love
yeah.
being here.
Yes,
Thanks, man.
Thank you.